Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another album review, and this time we're reviewing In This Light and On This Evening by The Editors. This album came out in 2009 and it was the third album of the band at that time. Their previous two albums were rock based and mostly indie rock and alternative rock, and this time it's a bit of dark wave, electronics and stuff like that. If you haven't heard of The Editors, then I'll just introduce them to you. The singer is Tom Smith and he has a very unique voice, which makes him stand out in the mix. Russell Leach is also a band member, but he came after this album was recorded in 2010. He was replacement for Chris Urbanowicz. Justin Locke is also a band member, and Ed Lay and Elliot Williams. Now for the style and the genre, like I said, it's dark wave, alternative rock, indie rock and a bit of post-punk. And the style is very much determined by the voice of Tom Smith and the dark themes and the dark music that they make. Then let's go to the track list. The title track of this album, In This Light and On This Evening, it's a very dark track, but it has a very good instrumental palette and it becomes more rock based at the end of the track, and the vocals are a bit weird. They have a very weird effect on them that makes them stand out, but mostly it's electronic and I don't mind that, so I'll give it a 7. Then there's Bricks and Mortar, one of my favorites. It's kind of the same as the title track, only there's a difference in the music, in the way the percussion works, in the way the guitars work, because there's less guitars in this song than in the opening track, but I'll still give it a 7.5. Then the third track, it's Papillon, which means butterfly in English. This was their biggest hit of all time, I think, at least here in Holland, but the version that became a hit was the radio version, which is like 1-2 minutes shorter than the version on the album, and I personally like the version on the album more because it's longer and I can enjoy it much more. Then there's You Don't Know Love, and basically it's You Don't Know Love Like You Used To, but the song name is You Don't Know Love. It has some very interesting background vocals and it has a very unique feel to it, but it's not very different from the songs that were already listened to, so I guess I'll give it a 7. Then there's The Boxer, and lyrically I think it's a very dark song. I don't know what it's all about, but it seems very dark, and the instrumentals complement that too. It's very unique, it's very dark wavy, it's very, you know, like you will feel uneasy at first, but then the song kicks off and then yeah, it's just bliss. And I'll give it an 8. Then there's Like Treasure, and it's the most rock-based track on the album. You can definitely hear that. It's more rocky than the other songs. It's not that electronic, it's not that dark wavy, but still it has some dark wavy vibes. And I'll give it a 7. Then there's Eromy equals Blood Drool, and that's also one of my favorite tracks because the way the vocals from Tom Smith come together with the instrumentals, it's very unique, it's very good, so I guess it's a 7.5. And then the closer, it's Walk the Fleet Road, and it's my least favorite track. It doesn't really complement the album in any way, I think. Most people find it to be very good, but I don't think it's good. I think it's very unnecessary that this song was on the album in the first place. They should have cut it off at 8 tracks, because it's 9 tracks long, this album. They should cut it off at 8 tracks and just call it a day with Eromy equals Blood Drool. But that's all I have to say about this album, and overall I think it's a very decent album, especially since their previous albums were more rock based and this is a whole new direction they're going in. I think they nailed it for the most part. So the rating for this album will be a 7.5. If you combine all the ratings I gave on each song onto this, it's mostly a 7.5. I've given 8s, I've given 7s, but it's 7.5. That's all the time I got for today, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share and subscribe. And my next video will probably be another album review, and that time it will be about Green Day's American Idiot. So stay tuned for that. And then I'll see you all very soon in the next video.